Thousands of migrant workers in the United Kingdom now find themselves in a state of deep uncertainty as a major shift in immigration rules threatens their visas, livelihoods, and long-term plans. A new policy introduced by the UK Home Office has dramatically raised the minimum salary required for visa renewal, putting workers from Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Ghana, the Philippines, and several other Commonwealth and Asian nations at risk of losing their legal status. The updated threshold now demands that a foreign worker earns at least £41,700 per year to continue staying in the country, a significant jump from the previous £29,000 requirement under which most of these individuals were originally hired. This sudden increase has shaken thousands of families who migrated with hopes of building a better and more secure future. The policy change comes at a time when many of these essential workers already struggle under stagnant wages and limited opportunities for progression. They moved to the UK to support industries that were desperate for manpower, sectors like healthcare, transport, custodial services, and prison staffing, areas where chronic shortages had pushed the government to actively recruit from overseas. Their contribution has been undeniable. They helped keep hospitals functioning, ensured transport systems ran smoothly, and filled roles vital for public safety and general welfare. For many, this was not just a job change but a life-changing decision involving heavy financial investment, emotional sacrifice, and the hope of long-term settlement. Now, these same workers wake up each day wondering if they will still have a job, a home, or even the right to remain in the UK in the months ahead. With salaries far below the newly imposed benchmark, thousands fear potential cancellation of their visas, followed by forced departure, leaving behind years of hard work and community ties. As this new rule gains attention, more people have begun examining the crucial role migrant workers play in the UK's economy. Their presence fills the gaps left by local labor shortages, especially in public sectors that require consistent, demanding, and often underpaid work. Many employers rely heavily on foreign staff to maintain basic operations. In certain prisons, experts estimate that nearly a quarter of the workforce consists of foreign nationals. This heavy reliance shows just how deeply integrated migrant labor has become in maintaining public safety and delivering critical services. Yet, despite their contributions, these workers now face the risk of being removed because of income levels that the government itself deemed acceptable at the time of their recruitment. Many of them accepted these roles not only because of the promise of stability but also because the UK presented itself as a place where loyalty, hard work, and dedication were valued. With wages unable to keep up with the new expectation, they find themselves caught between policy changes and the reality of an economy that has not offered them the ability to reach the new threshold. The government has defended the policy by pointing to the need to control immigration figures and reduce the overall inflow of foreign workers. According to reports from major British outlets, including the BBC and The Telegraph, the administration views the salary increase as part of a larger strategy to regulate the labor market and discourage companies from relying too heavily on migrant labor. However, this explanation has sparked intense debate within political circles and across the country. Even within the government, tensions have surfaced. Justice Secretary David Lammy has openly challenged Home Secretary Shaban Mahmood's approach, warning that implementing this rule during a persistent labor shortage could lead to serious operational problems. If thousands of workers are forced out, prisons, transport systems, and public service departments may face severe understaffing. This, in turn, could compromise safety, efficiency, and the basic functioning of essential services. Policy experts have also raised alarms about this looming crisis. If the government continues to enforce deportations for those unable to meet the new requirement, the nation may find itself unprepared to handle the consequences. The UK already struggles with staffing deficits in prisons and transport networks. Losing experienced, trained workers could deepen the crisis, leaving institutions vulnerable and unable to meet public needs. With safety at stake, analysts argue that this reform places the government in a difficult position: either stand firm on the new rule or reconsider it to avoid widespread shortages that could endanger everyday operations. The backlash has not been limited to political leaders. Unions representing transport workers, public service employees, and custodial staff have staged protests outside 10 Downing Street, calling for the government to rethink the decision. Many union leaders insist that workers should not be judged by newly introduced standards when they arrived under different rules and expectations. They argue that it is unfair and ethically questionable to apply a retrospective policy that puts thousands of hardworking individuals at risk. For unions, this is not only about immigration. It is about fairness, job security, and respect for those who have contributed significantly to the nation. Many view the timing of the policy as suspicious, suggesting that it may be politically motivated, intended to portray a stricter stance on immigration ahead of the upcoming general election. Critics warn that such decisions may score political points but could also damage the very structures keeping the country functioning. Policy analysts, union leaders, employers, and humanitarian organizations all share a common concern. The new threshold threatens both workforce stability and the livelihoods of thousands who have built their lives in the UK. The sudden change leaves workers unsure whether they should continue planning for their future or prepare to return to countries they left years ago. Some have taken loans to travel, invested in training, or relocated their families, hoping for permanent settlement. The idea of starting from scratch, often in environments with fewer opportunities, has caused emotional distress and widespread anxiety. The debate surrounding this rule touches on deeper questions about how the UK sees itself and how it treats those who support its essential functions. The issue is not solely about income thresholds or visa requirements, it is about the balance between immigration control and economic necessity. The country relies heavily on migrant labor, yet it risks losing a significant part of its workforce at a time when public services are already strained. As the situation unfolds, thousands of skilled and semi-skilled workers wait for clarity on what will happen next. Employers are also expressing concern, unsure whether they will be able to manage future demands without the staff they depend on. Policymakers now face the challenge of finding a middle ground that addresses immigration goals without compromising national stability and public safety. For those who want a deeper understanding of how these reforms developed and what they might mean going forward, the full version of this story is available on our website through the link in the description. These developments continue to shape the future of the UK labour market and the lives of workers who have become part of the country's social and economic fabric. Share your thoughts in the comments, and stay connected for more updates as the situation evolves.